Hi guys, so today I'm going to do my labor and delivery story. It's been about 10 or 11 weeks to be honest, but the first 6 weeks I was in a lot of pain, and then I filmed some videos, and then I went back to work and my life got crazy, and now I'm on summer break. I am a teacher, so that's why I get summer break, so I'm really excited about that. So I'm hoping to be more consistent with videos this summer. And things like that. So hopefully, I'm really hoping it works out. I love doing YouTube and love doing these, doing videos. I do have a vlog channel that I've been hopefully posting daily on. I'll link that down below. I've been trying to film vlogs just because with having, you know, a little baby, I want to see the progress and see, you know, I think it'd be fun to, it's fun to document it. So definitely check that out if you're curious. But today I'm going to do my labor and delivery story. To really get it started, we have to go back to my 39-week 6-day appointment. My 40-week, I'd been 40 weeks on a Saturday, and so I always had my appointments on Friday before obviously the next week. And so that appointment, we were talking, and because my due date was going to be the next day, and I think I told you this, but we weren't sure if my water broke. It hadn't. Later on we figured that out. But while I was at the appointment, she was asking about what I want to do, if I want to, like how long I want to wait, basically. And then I was asking about induction, because just being a teacher, I had to make all these sub plans, and it was hard to know like when to make these sub plans in case. Because I didn't know when he was coming, and so it was a little bit of a challenge that way. And so she was asking me about induction, and she was saying that was a good candidate. There are two things that have to be like in place, kind of, I guess. It's dilated when you go up to 10, and then effaced, which you go up to 100%. I was pretty much 100% effaced, but it was only 2 centimeters dilated. But she said that is a good candidate for induction. And so I was like, okay. And I didn't have a problem with being induced, to be honest. So I said, okay, let's do it. So we scheduled it for Monday morning. In case, if I had gone into labor before that, obviously I wouldn't have been induced. But I was 40 weeks and 2 days at that point. And so all weekend I went on a ton of walks. I did a bunch of things. I tried to eat things that would help it, that, you know, wives' tale say help it and everything, and nothing was making it go. And so we get there Monday morning. We're supposed to be there at 7, so they do a bunch of like, they talk to you a lot and get you all settled in and anything like that. And so they didn't start my medicine until about 9 o'clock. And at 9 o'clock, and so then they just keep increasing it. And I didn't feel anything major for quite a while. And then at 10:30 they checked, and I was pretty much the same amount dilated. Like I said, it was almost fully effaced, but I was pretty much the same amount dilated. So they said, well, we're going to break your water. And I said, okay, fabulous. Let's get this show on the road. So they broke my water, and very shortly after that I started having some pretty intense contractions. And I was not sure if I wanted to go more natural or use an epidural, just because I didn't know what the pain was. But after talking to the nurse and everything, we decided to do an epidural, which I am perfectly, like I said, I wasn't against it. I just didn't know. So after they broke the water and I was starting to get some contraction, she said, we might want to do it now because you have to lay pretty still when they do that. And I said, okay, great. So as they were doing the epidural, I was in a lot of pain, and I was kind of like, I don't know how to explain it, but because I was in so much pain, my body was like, it kind of felt like I was on pain medicine, like when you're not fully there, or like when you're first waking up from like a surgery or something, like you're not fully there, they're trying to put you under type of a thing. Like that's how I felt, but I didn't have like, anyways, so because I was in, my body was in so much pain that I couldn't, like, I don't know, I just wasn't fully there. It was very strange. But anyway, so I got the epidural, that was fine, and then I passed out. And so that was probably 11:30, 12-ish. And then I woke up like at 2, and I think it was around 2. And they said, let's see how much you're dilated and everything. And so, because I couldn't tell with the epidural, like with how bad the contractions were, so I couldn't really tell. Like they could kind of tell, because they can tell the contractions are on the computer, like it monitors it, but I couldn't tell. And so I was fully dilated at that point. But Flynn was not low enough so he could start like pushing or anything. So they said, let's wait like 30 or 45 minutes or something. Let's wait like an hour and see where he's at. And so we did. So it was about 3 o'clock, and he was low enough, and so I called my doctor, and the nurse said, okay, we can start pushing, like your doctor's on their way, but she said we could start pushing if we wanted. And so I said okay, so we started pushing, and then she has me stop, and she's like, well, we need to wait for the doctor, because we just need to wait. And she didn't really tell me what was going on at that point, and I don't know how much I didn't know everything that was going on, which I'm kind of glad about. Now looking back, like they know what's going on. And my husband was in there, my mom was in there, and then my sister-in-law ended up being in there at this point. And so I think they kind of knew what was going on, because they could actually like see what was going on. I'm just up there pushing away, and so they had to tell me when to push, and so we had to wait for my doctor. And so my doctor got there, I think like at 4 ish. I don't really remember. And so she had me again start pushing, and he ended up being they're supposed to come out like this, I guess, but he was looking up. And so if you're looking up, they can't get around your tailbone. So she was trying to have him turn him as he came out. And as he was doing that, they monitor like your heart things, but also the baby's. And so his heart rate kept dropping. And so they felt like they needed to get him out a little bit quicker than he was coming out. And so they put a vacuum suction thing on his head. They asked me if it was okay. And they like told me the risks or whatever. I was like, I need this child out, and their risks were super, super low. And so they put the vacuum on his head and kind of got him out, and he came out sideways. And so I think that's why I think I didn't feel very well, and because he ended up tearing me quite a bit, and then I lost a lot of blood, so I was like shaking and cold. And they had to do some tests over the next day to make sure I was okay, and stuff like that. But so I think that was a lot of the reason why I didn't feel good for such a long time. I mean, my body had never done that before, but also because he was turning, and because of that trauma and having that tear and all that blood loss, I think that was a big portion of why I didn't feel good for such a long time. So I'm really, really happy that I'm feeling great now. But that's kind of my labor and delivery story. We got to go home 24 hours later, and a bunch of family came up and everything. I have the hiccups. And so yeah, if you have any questions, definitely link them or post them down below, and I'll try and get to them. If there's a lot of questions, then I will do a Q&A specifically related to that. But that's my story for now. And yeah, I'm really, really happy. I will go get him and I will show you him if he's awake, because I thought I heard him being awake, but maybe he's not. So I'll go check for you. So I had to put on my glasses so I could see what you can see, but here's Flynn. He just woke up, so he's not super happy. I'll insert a picture of him like super smiling. Oh, buddy. Ooh, ooh, hi. So this is Flynn. Yeah, he woke up and he's hungry, but yeah, so this is my little baby Flynn. Yeah. Yeah. Hi. Hi, look. Hi. Flynn. Hi. Yeah. I love you. I love you. But anyways, I'm going to let you go and I'll talk to you later. Bye.